to the Dish Pig. I'm your host, Nick Sherry. This is episode 2. It's here already. I think this means we're officially a series. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at _dish_pig. Well, it's a short week here in Australia because it's Easter. And Easter is where we celebrate the birth of the Easter Bunny. And a short week means that we have a bonus episode for you. And can I say, I am absolutely ecstatic to be talking all things Hot Cross Buns. And who better to cover this topic than with my friend, the mulch, soil, and firewood king of Australia, an expert Hot Cross Bun consumer, Andrew Poochie Spillane.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Very important topic we're talking about today. Although I was looking on your LinkedIn profile to kind of find some evidence of experience that just allows you to talk about this topic, but I couldn't find anything. I think it was recycling pioneer.
Yep. Sustainability warrior. Not much about baking.
There wasn't much about baking in there, but a lot of wood though. You deal with a lot of wood.
Yep. A lot of firewood, a lot of timber, soil, mulch.
So that means you're just 100% qualified to just rant about Hot Cross Buns for a while.
Well, I think if the listeners could see my body, rather than my body of work, points to more Hot Cross Buns than physical labour.
You should add to your LinkedIn like Hot Cross Bun enthusiast after recycling pioneer.
Well,
I think
this will obviously make it to my LinkedIn and.
Oh yeah, you can put under your your experience now, skills.
Yeah, podcast. I've been telling a lot of people I've been invited to do a podcast, and they all assume it's to do with work, but no one said, "It's Hot Cross Buns."
Well, hopefully, no one really listens to this podcast, so.
Yeah, most people did ask where I can download it. I said I have no idea.
How many people did you tell?
Oh, plenty.
Like 12, 13?
I'd say over 20, over 30 maybe.
That's great. So now we have 20 to 30 listeners of the Dish Pig. I appreciate it.
If they want to listen.
If that's true. That's 100% turnout.
That could be 20 to 30 people who go, well, I'll never listen to that.
Yeah, so this better be good or we'll lose 20 to 30 listeners.
Negative listeners.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
What are you doing to celebrate?
We'll be going down to the family beach house.
Lovely.
Spend a bit of time with the family. It's always my memory of Easter, I think, growing up as a kid, spending time down there with them. So we'll be back down there with my family now, so my young one.
Beautiful.
And a couple of siblings, mum and dad.
What's on the menu?
Fish pie, perhaps.
Oh.
Is a staple in your house, I believe.
Indeed.
Plenty of Hot Cross Buns each day. Probably take a few down from Melbourne, buy a few local, maybe go on a bit of a road trip to buy a few.
Make your own? Have you ever made your own?
Never gone to the effort of making my own. I know you have. I'm pretty lazy in that regard.
Only recently, last couple of years, I've tried making my own. It's quite rewarding when you get it right.
They look superb. Anything with anything that comes out of the oven with a glaze is going to look delicious. It doesn't matter how it tastes. It's going to look bloody good.
Need a good glaze. And you need to, it's like with any Hot Cross Bun, but it has to be, like you got to eat it super fresh.
Yeah. Some of the ones I bought today were still hot in the bag when I bought them in the oven.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, yeah, you got to be fresh. They got to be hot.
Actually, I should have asked you earlier, what's the last thing you cooked for yourself? Last meal you prepared for yourself?
Ooh, I think I made a carbonara the other night.
Ooh.
Yeah, just had some pancetta in the fridge.
Delightful.
Yeah, simple, easy, ready to go.
You got a good pancetta guy?
This was just a packet pancetta, believe it or not.
Wow,
Pre-packed. I was in the supermarket, fruit shop, bought it, was sitting in the fridge for a week, and eventually I went, oh well.
Bit of a...
I did stop. I was in Hillsville this weekend. I found a salami truck.
A salami truck?
Yeah, it was just a truck on the side of the road. Had a sign, said salami, pulled in. Bought myself a salami and some pickle, and I'm looking forward to eating that this afternoon.
Was it any other cured meats in there, or was it just purely
just salamis?
Wow.
Yeah, different types. They had pork. They had some kangaroo salami and some few different types. But I went the traditional pork, bit of pickle, and some hot chilies.
You don't really see, like, you're probably used to seeing, like, you know, like, oh, I'll stop here for fresh eggs,
Yeah,
you know,
fresh fruit,
vegetables.
veggies. You don't see a lot of salami trucks.
No.
There's not enough meat trucks around.
Yeah, meat trucks. Might make a note of that. Meat trucks.
It'd be good. I'd like to hear your top 10 country meat trucks.
I'm going to start thinking about that now. So Hot Cross Buns, I'm going to tell you a bit of history about. Do you know much about the origins of the Hot Cross Bun?
I'm going to say it was maybe something to do with the Easter Bunny.
You'd be no. You know, yeah.
No, please enlighten me.
So I jumped on the internet, found some stuff, thought I'd, you know, just relay it to you. So get this right. So the Saxons, back in the day, they ate buns that were marked with crosses that were in honor of, I always think I'm going to screw this word up, but Eostra.
Okay.
So Eostra was a Germanic goddess of fertility, spring and light. And it's from her name where the name Easter came from.
Okay.
Right? Get this, though. She was a voluptuous blonde maiden, always depicted surrounded by little birds, bunnies, there's the bunny reference, and other baby animals, as well as spring flowers. Interesting.
It's very interesting. I would have assumed more some kind of Catholic Christian. When do we start moving into that?
That's coming later. But the crosses, so these buns were baked for the spring festival to celebrate this goddess, right? And then the 4 quarters of the cross on each bun were said to be a representation of the 4 phases of the moon. And then the cross itself is symbolic for the rebirth for winter. So this is all.
See, I would have never.
This is all
guessed any of that. I would have. Yeah. I would have gone cross, crucifixion, Christ, done.
Well, that comes next. So
these guys are putting in a lot more thought into their food than we are. Now it's just what's that? That's chips and aioli. What does it symbolise? It symbolises just eat the chips and aioli. They're like, oh, we're going to put a cross and the quarters and the moon and the.
Yeah, it would be nice if our food was represented, well, had more meaning to it, I guess you'd say, right? What could chips and aioli represent, other than just chips and aioli?
Who knows? I wouldn't mind saying, like, going back to the Christianity stealing from these things. Maybe they could have, instead of the host and the wine, maybe chips and sauce, the body and blood of Christ.
Chips and tomato sauce.
Yeah,
chips. So the sauce is the blood of Christ, and the chips of the body. That could be better for the kids at church, wouldn't it?
You draw more people, I think.
Interesting.
They've stolen the bun. Why not steal that?
But then you get. I mean, there'd have to be a whole other podcast about what kind of chips you're going to use, because that's just a whole different kind of debate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, we won't.
Nah,
it's too much of a rabbit hole. So moving forward a bit. So this next part's a bit up for debate, but it's either the 12th century or the 14th century. So there's a theory that the hot cross bun originated in St Albans in England, where Brother Thomas Rodcliffe, who was a 14th century monk at the St Albans Abbey, developed a similar recipe, and he called it the Alban bun, and he distributed this bun to the local poor on Good Friday, starting in 1361. Okay. It's a theory. And then towards the end of the 16th century, Queen Elizabeth I passed a law that actually limited the sale of sweet buns so you can only sell them for funerals, at Christmas, and the Friday before Easter. The English were apparently deeply superstitious and believed that these buns carried a medicinal or magical properties. And they were fearful that of those, that the powers would be abused by people for making them too much. So that's why they were limited to these funerals and whatnot. But, people didn't listen. They were like, fuck that. I'm not going to just limit my buns to Christmas, funerals and Easter. So they started making them at home, and then eventually, like, the law was thrown out. And what else have I got for you? It's quite a bit, isn't it?
Funeral buns. I like that.
Yeah, funeral bun. I was at a funeral the other day. Bit of chat about funeral food, like hot pies or party pies, chicken sandwiches,
Yeah, classic.
scones, jam and cream. There was no scones this one. It's unfortunate, but what are you going to do?
Just go to more funerals. You'll find some.
So then, what else have I got for you here? Oh, so the whole superstitions about I like this one actually, and half of these are probably bullshit, but so there's some stories about if you bake hot cross buns on Good Friday, apparently they'll never go stale.
Yep.
Clearly
Makes
false.
sense. Makes sense.
If you bake a hot cross bun on Good Friday, give it to a friend, it guarantees you like strong friendship throughout the year. I like that one.
Yep, that's good.
That's kind of nice. And then the final one is about apparently they think that hot cross buns are good at protecting sailors from shipwrecks. So if you take a hot cross bun on a ship, you won't sink. Probably false.
I think false. I'm not sure about the Titanic and their hot cross bun.
There was clearly no hot cross buns
Well,
on.
it'd be a good way to test the theory, though.
It would have been. Imagine if they were supposed to have hot cross buns on there, and then the ship sailed, and the guy's like, "Oh,
this: have you ever seen a shipwreck with hot cross buns?"
no."
So
Haven't seen too many shipwrecks. I'm going to be honest with that.
You've seen photos of shipwrecks.
Yeah, the odd photo.
Never hot cross buns.
No,
So maybe it's right.
maybe. Anyway,
I like the one that they'll never go stale if you bake them on Good Friday.
I might try that this year actually. I think there was another one where you can bake it on Good Friday and just hang it somewhere in your house, and it's supposed to bring you good luck. Keep
Kind of like the McDonald's cheeseburger that people go, you can just keep it forever and it will never go stale. It will never get mold. It's just like that. Just bake bread.
Pure sugar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a bit of history about the hot cross bun.
Very interesting. I would never have known any of that.
These days, when we're talking about hot cross buns, would you say that the flavors of the hot cross bun, that it's out of control?
Yeah, I think it's ever growing. It's like, people these days have got to make a croissant out of a donut, and you've just got to have more and more flavors. You've got to have more variety, more for the kids, more for the adults, more for everyone. It's too much.
It is too much. I mean, I'm a big OG fan.
Yeah.
Big OG fan.
Yeah, give me the traditional. It's like you go to the pub these days, there's 48 different beers and you can't pick which beer you want. You just want the good old-fashioned Carlton Draft pot.
Yeah.
That's all you want. It's like you don't want to have to pick between hot cross buns.
I just don't know who's eating all these. So I was looking up different. I mean, I'm sure there's more flavors, but I was looking up some of these flavors. So you've got the traditional fruit.
Yep.
Right. Sultanas and raisins, basically. There's a fruit-free one. Just no thanks.
Yeah, what's that? Just allspice and cinnamon.
Yeah, just like
Something like that.
a sweet bready bun.
Yeah, which doesn't need to have a cross on it. Just sell it as a bun. There's so many buns out there.
Yeah.
Sell it as a bun.
A glazed bun. Apple and cinnamon.
Yep. Probably if I'm going to pick one flavor, that's the closest I can sort of go. Apple and cinnamon, I can get with that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate's no good. It's for the kids. It's for the children. My little boy, he's 3, loves a chocolate. Let him have that, but he still will go a fruit one over a chocolate most of the time. So.
That's good to know. Good to know. I tried. I mean, we had a few hot cross buns before we sat down.
Just a few.
Just a little sample. That was the first time I've ever tried a chocolate hot cross bun.
Where are you at with buns in the States? Is it as popular as here? Are they, December 26th? Are they making buns like they do here? Or?
Oh no! It's a bit of a struggle to find a hot cross bun in the United States. Like they are there. I was in Napa County one day several years ago and just came across a bun, like hot cross bun, in some like random bakery. But yeah, don't really. That's how I got into making my own,
Of course.
because I couldn't find them.
How was the one you found in Napa?
I remember it being pretty decent.
Was it good because you hadn't had any
I
other
hadn't-
buns? Yeah, you were
Yeah,
just like, oh,
I hadn't had one in a while, so I was just more, holy shit! I found a hot cross bun. This is like the best day of the year.
yeah.
Haven't found one since.
That's interesting. Maybe it's an opportunity for you when you go back. Bake them all on Good Friday and they'll never go stale.
Never go stale.
And you just got them for the year. Sell them.
I'll have my hot cross bun truck next to my meat salami truck. Other flavours, chocolate and orange. Yeah, getting a bit fancy.
That reminds me of that, the chocolate orange. Well, Tetley's chocolate orange. You
Oh,
always
yeah.
had in the 80s.
Yeah,
Nah, not
never a
good.
fan.
Never liked it.
Raspberry and white chocolate.
Nah, it's a muffin. That's not a bun. That's a muffin.
I think we're delving into some more English flavours here. Sticky date and butterscotch.
That sounds like a dessert. That sounds delicious.
It's like a pudding, right?
Well, that's what people do with their leftover hot cross buns, turn them into bread and butter pudding. Fantastic.
Belgian chocolate and cherry.
Look, they all sound delicious, but they're just not buns.
Salted caramel and chocolate. That'd be way too intense. That'd be so sweet. This one sounds all right. Rhubarb and custard. But again, as a dessert.
How do you put custard into a bun?
It's a very good question.
It's custard's a drink. How can you put a drink into a bun? I don't understand. Surely that gets put on top, not in.
Oh, stuff you put on top. We'll get to
yeah.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So yeah, I the flavors are out of control.
Nah, give me traditional. I'm a traditional guy.
Yeah,
Fruit, done.
it's what Jesus would have wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah, heating up a hot cross bun.
Yep.
The methods in one, how
Got
one
some strong opinions on this.
heats toasted. So I'll start with a couple of things. I only recently discovered this. I was with some friends. And this is just the other week. Got some hot cross buns. They were tasked with heating them up, and their method was bun in the oven as like whole, and then heat the bun, cut in half, then butter, then serve.
Heat the bun, cut in half, butter, serve. Okay.
I'd never seen it before. I wouldn't say I loved it.
Yep.
I'm more of just a stick in the toaster kind of guy, or put it under the grill. But talk me through your method.
These days, I'm a toaster guy, purely out of convenience, speed, cut the bun. But my big issue with the toaster is that the bun just goes too wide and always gets stuck on the way back up.
100%.
And then you're trying to pick it out. It's hot. You're trying to put your finger in
Yep.
the hot toaster. It's no good. Bun gets misshaped. The butter doesn't pull properly on the bun.
Yep.
It's always the top. It's always the cross side the bottom side usually you're pretty good because it's not rounded.
Yeah.
Your rounded top side with the cross in a toaster is no good.
So would you say, are you more of a top than a bottom then?
I'm a bottom. Yeah,
Nice.
if I had to pick.
I'm
But
more of a top myself.
top, that's perfect.
We're a good fit.
But I think, cutting a hot cross bun,
Yeah.
it's like, you shouldn't cut bread. You should break bread. I'd rather break open a hot cross bun.
Oh, like a nice pull apart.
Just pull
Yeah,
apart,
yeah.
Grill it under the grill.
Yeah.
And then obviously glaze side up first. Flip it over after you get a bit of colour on there. Flip it over. Brown the inside off. Plenty of butter. And then away you go. And the butter from a pulled hot cross bun will pull a lot better than a cut hot cross bun.
Interesting theory. I like that.
You got to get a good pool of butter in there.
That's very interesting. I think I'm leaning more towards purely just using the grill because, like you said, like it's always getting stuck in a toaster.
Yeah.
You always get like a raisin that's that's pulled off that is stuck in there for weeks and weeks.
Yeah,
Every
it's
time you toast,
burning.
it's constantly burning and smoking.
Yep.
Which impacts the toasting time of other toasted goods because you think it's burning, then you put it up and then it's
Yeah.
hasn't even started.
You put your crumpets in on Easter Sunday and all of a sudden, you think they're cooked. They're not. They just stink.
Smoked crumpets.
No good.
However, when it comes to the toaster, and I'm noticing this more and more. So on the toaster we were using today, there's a crumpet bread setting. In the States, you'd get like a bagel setting.
Yep.
So you put your buns in, and it toasts the inside more than the outside. So it kind of controls the
Like a defrost.
similar to a defrost, I guess. So you've got a defrost setting on your toaster.
I think we do, but microwave defrost.
Oh, okay, yeah. Doesn't controls the temperature in a better way. And the other thing,
But I thought they weren't very good today. I didn't like that setting.
I probably didn't toast them for long enough. I do apologize.
They weren't crisp enough. The butter didn't melt fast enough.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't have enough. You want a little bit of crunch into it. You want like a bit of toast. You want a little bit of crunch.
Yeah.
They were too like someone to put them in the oven.
But I kind of feel like it almost should be. So to anyone in the toaster community listening, I want the bread setting button to be mandatory on all toasters. But however, the girth of the toaster, what do you call it, the slot, it needs to be quite wide.
They've got them wide these days. They're the ones that they pinch, they go down. Then when they come up, they
like
expand,
release.
they release. But I still find they hold the bun in
Because I
doesn't release the bun properly.
I was over at a friend's place last night, and his toaster, the girth was extraordinary. It was a wide girth.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're made for things like bagels now and thicker breads.
Thicker breads, yes.
But I think the curvature of the top of a bun, as I said, the top doesn't seem to, never wants to cook well.
Yeah.
But I always remember as a kid, because we had 6 kids in the family, mum and dad, just grills full of hot cross buns at Easter.
Yeah. And you can heat them up in bulk, right?
Yeah, go the whole half dozen at a time.
Yeah.
Just cut the tops off, throw them in, away you go.
Ever thrown one in a microwave?
No.
I think I'm
Flat out no. Why?
I think I've got memories of my old man doing this. I could be wrong, but just heat up the bun so it's just piping hot, and then away you go. Throw some.
Nah, doesn't make sense to me. I don't mind putting a piece of bread in the microwave with a sausage if I'm heating it up. I like to have that sort of soggy steamed bread. With
So the bread kind of wraps around like the sausage, right? It almost it sticks to it.
Yeah, it sticks to it, and you put your sauce in. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good microwave bread, but not a hot cross bun. I don't get it.
What
You've got time? You've got time to.
Yeah.
It's morning. Usually. When you're having a hot cross bun. Usually morning time. Sure, you can have it for an afternoon snack or morning tea, but you got a bit of time. Just put it in, put the kettle on, grill it, away you go.
What about just fresh, plain fresh?
No, don't do it very often. I enjoy the toastedness. I enjoy the melting of the butter. Unless it's really fresh, straight out of the oven. Different story.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever done it completely fresh was when made my own, pulled them out, put it on the cooling tray, broke one off, pulled it open, no knife because it was so fresh. Steam comes out.
Yeah, delicious.
Thoroughly delicious.
And a real sense of achievement, I'm sure.
Yeah, if they turn out good, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Were
they good?
Yeah, this particular time that I'm talking, they were delicious.
How could you have improved it? What could you have done differently, or would you do differently next time?
It's always important to really get your dough to fruit ratio right.
Yep.
I've made some before, I think prior to that. Well, actually, the first time I made them wasn't enough fruit. So I was like, shit, this is just, too bready.
I think if you got your seasoning right and your spice right, that can be okay to have a little bit of fruit. Like that one
was
over
okay.
there that we had this morning, I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't overly fruity,
Yeah.
but the spice and the cinnamon was there.
I think I still do, I really enjoy the fruit. But so the second time, I did too much fruit. Because I like putting, raisins, sultanas, a bit of chopped up dried apricot.
Yep.
I haven't done any candied fruit before. I almost
that would give a bit of a different taste.
I kind of find it's almost too hard.
Yep.
And I think
it'd be a lot like a Christmas cake.
Especially if you put too much fruit in it, they become like soup, really dense.
Yeah, super dense.
And you lose that sponginess that you're looking for.
Yep.
And I think did I do one with currants once? Like,
Oh yeah,
I think I must have.
Currant would be good.
Sour cherries. I've been seeing a lot of recipes with like cherries and sour cherries lately. That could be something to explore. Never a nut though in a hot cross bun, right? Never a nut.
Nah, never see a nut.
Nah.
I'm sure they're
nuts.
out there somewhere, but nah, not.
Now, what about toppings on your hot cross bun? I mean, it's got to be. Butter.
Yeah,
First and foremost. Usually, always for me. I'm just butter.
I'm just butter. I don't know jam. Are people? Is that what you're going to say to me? Jam?
There's-
Vegemite. In Australia, we're always having Vegemite.
Yeah, there's Vegemite. Dad loves Vegemite on his hot cross bun. I don't think I have tried it before. I just know I'm not going to enjoy it.
And nice, good butter. Not margarine.
No margarine. Nothing. No margarine. Nothing whipped. Any kind of whipped butter.
Nothing out of a tub. No.
I mean, like I don't mind a bit of Western Star.
True.
But if you get a good European unsalted butter,
Yep. For your good fancy bun, but then you've got your tip top buns, your Coles buns, which are perfect for a Western Star.
yeah,
Your lower quality bun, your mass produced bun,
the lower quality
or
butter.
a lower quality butter.
Yeah, because you got to show respect to the bun, right?
Yeah, correct. You don't want to upstage the bun.
That'd be awkward.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So you match the butter to the bun. But you want to have a good pool of butter, and you want the bun to soak the butter in, I think.
I should be taking notes for this. That's I guess I can just listen to this again, can't I?
You can always download, subscribe. Here, put a link or something. I think your buttering today. I don't want to pick on you. I said your toasting wasn't brilliant.
Yeah, look,
your butter cutting was quite thick.
Well, I was rushing a little bit.
It did come round though. It eventually melted in.
Yeah, I mean, because a couple of things. Yes, they could have been toasted better. I know you keep going back to your the toasting. I do apologise again. But the butter itself was cut into it was a cylinder shaped log of butter. Yep. Very easy just to cut off a little medallion of butter and just like a little coin, a little butter coin. Just throw it on top of the
little gold medal.
First place. But you're right, it wasn't hot enough, and then it made a bit. Look, the butter was probably too hard. Probably need to soften up a bit to begin with.
I like to leave my butter out of the fridge these days. Just leave it on the bench.
Yeah, but you can do that with good high quality European butters, right? You wouldn't leave your tub of Western Star out on the bench because that could actually go bad. Or
I don't think it'll go bad, but it's a bit
it'd actually turn runny.
Yeah, it's very
be too soft. Yeah,
it's too much, too soft.
So Vegemite, peanut butter.
Well, we just discussed nuts and buns there.
Good point.
Doesn't really go. Jam. I could imagine a jam wouldn't be the worst thing.
Wouldn't be the worst thing. Like a mixed berry preserve, a little
nice fig jam maybe or something.
Well, so I've done a glaze for the top of the hot cross bun with apricot jam.
Yep.
Like apricot jam, little bit of boiling water just to loosen it up a bit, and then brush that on top. Delicious.
Sounds delicious.
This is a big one. I'm yet to try. I'm actually probably going to try it this weekend. The bacon in a hot cross bun.
Powerful. Yeah, it's got that sweet and savoury.
So, yeah, I believe.
Where have you heard this?
So
where do you watch such filthy videos on the internet?
Food porn. It was my stepbrother Andy first told me about this, and Dad as well. Dad was always a bit of a fan of a bit of bacon on the hot cross bun, but you're eating it like a sandwich. Yeah.
Yep. An egg or just bacon?
Well, I did some more research. Egg, bacon, and cheese on a hot cross bun.
Okay.
Doesn't sound great to me, but
sweet and savoury. Look, maybe give it a shot. No, people just bacon with anything, don't they?
Yeah,
that's the rule.
Yeah, you can eat bacon with anything. Cornflakes? Can you eat bacon with cornflakes?
Yeah. Oh, often.
Avocado, smashed avocado on hot cross buns.
Yeah, look, it's all sounding suspicious to me. But I'll try it. I'll give it a shot.
goat's cheese with a little bit of fig and rosemary.
Well, goat's cheese is good with Meredith's goat's cheese on most things will make it better.
Great goat's cheese. Probably the best. You can get that in the States now, actually.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Meredith's a bit tomato, Meredith's
Ooh.
on your hot cross bun though. Or do you want that on? It's a nice sourdough.
Yeah, I just keep that to the sourdough.
See, these are things you're describing to me, all these breakfast accompaniments and condiments and that I can have all year round.
Yeah.
When it's, whilst the bun is now available probably 6 to 8 months of the year, your peak bun eating period is probably 2 weeks before Easter.
Yep.
I'm going to have my buns and enjoy my buns just as a bun. I don't need to be like, oh, look, it's bun season. Give me some bacon. I've got bacon's always there. The bun is the friend you only see 2 or 3 weeks of the year. And you're not eating buns every day of that 3 weeks. So your bun eating season might be 2 months.
Yep.
But your actual bun eating days might be down to 4 or 6
Yeah.
for that period. So why do you need to get the bun? If you're a good friend of the bun, you want to catch up one-on-one with the bun. You don't need all your other breakfast friends around having a party. You want to catch up.
Pretty shitty friend though if you're only seeing the friend bun for 2 to 3 weeks a year, right?
Maybe he lives overseas. He's doing other things.
Fair enough.
He's busy. He's not always
Fair
there.
enough. Yeah, like myself.
Exactly.
Here's one for you. Slow cooked roast lamb in a hot cross bun sandwich.
Nah. No, you're not convincing me. I'm sorry. You just slow cooked lamb. If you're going to put it in bread, put it in a wrap.
Yep.
With some tzatziki, lettuce, tomato, onion. It's called a souvlaki.
Cadbury cream egg hot cross bun toasty.
When I was 12.
I was going to say we're back in the chocolate hot cross bun territory.
Yeah. It's for children.
Yeah. Kids.
Nah.
And there's even I've discovered a few other hot cross bun related products. I think Aldi released a hot cross bun gin liqueur.
Ooh. Yeah, see this I could get around something like that.
Yeah. And I think
a hot cross bun scented air freshener.
Oh, like a hot cross bun candle.
Yeah. That'd be good.
That's not bad. It's like that KFC burning log that we've been trying to buy for the last few years.
Yeah, can't get those. Yeah, I think KFC have got a candle and the log.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. Go the other way. Take your buns. Don't try and bring things to the bun. Take the bun out.
Hot cross bun ice cream.
Yep. I'm fine with that.
I think they would have. I think that there's a hot cross bun candle that exists out there already.
There would be for sure, 100%. And I think there'd be hot cross bun ice cream.
Oh yeah, no, Coles definitely do sell those.
Yeah,
like individual wrapped on a stick.
Oh wow. Okay.
Might pop down to Coles later.
Yeah, we really should have had all this stuff ready to go. But I think taking the bun the other way is the way to go. Extend your bun time.
The availability of the hot cross bun, you've touched on it. In Australia, it's
almost comical now.
Yes.
They try and get the bun out on Boxing Day. So the supermarkets, your bakeries won't. Your good bakeries will be, the start of Lent.
Include chain bakeries like Baker's Delight, Brumbies in Australia.
Yeah. So they'll
wait.
They'll wait. They'll be closer. Not probably only a few weeks or a month before.
Yeah.
But it's getting longer and longer out. So your buns are available more often. Mm-hmm. But the supermarkets, Coles and Woolies, are almost
Boxing Day.
Comically, Boxing Day.
But when I haven't been living in Australia for a while now, and when they release these buns on Boxing Day, are they then available every time you go to the supermarket all the way through to Easter the next year?
Yeah, they're available straight through till Easter.
Oh, so they won't release them as a little bit of a tease, and then they'll bring them back.
No, they're a 6 month 6-month operation. They're not as prolific as they are right now, so they're not taking up as much shelf space. But they're definitely,
They wouldn't be making as many, yeah.
They're there. They're there for the buying, and they're brilliant hot cross buns.
So would you say, are you a fan of this Boxing Day release? I can't get around it, to be honest.
No. I'm eating ham
too
on
early.
Boxing Day.
Ham and a hot cross bun, maybe.
Nah, just ham.
There you go, your bacon.
Toasted, beautiful. I don't get around it.
Yeah.
I like to have my hot cross buns just a few weeks before Easter,
Yeah.
and enjoy them, and then off they go.
And off they go.
But yeah, it's very comical. They try and get them out as quick. I think they're just baking them on Christmas Day, going right.
So these are the supermarkets, but the bakeries, they'll wait until Lent,
They'll wait until closer to kickoff. Definitely.
How would
They've
you?
got other sweetened buns they can sell.
Oh, plenty of buns.
Boston bun, great summertime bun. The Boston bun.
That's the one with the the coconut cream on top, right?
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah, very nice.
So I
Where are they from? The Boston bun.
think they're from California. I think originated by a guy called James Boston.
James Boston.
And the morning, there's plenty of buns. We had a morning bun this morning, you and I.
A pre-hot cross bun morning bun.
Yeah, pre-bun bun.
There's a great there's a really good bakery on the West Coast in the US called Tartine. They do a delicious morning bun. Really good. Pretty actually along the lines of that one we had this morning, but this one has I believe there's a couple of raisins in there. Oh no, maybe no, there is. Quite sticky, quite sugary.
This one's very sugary. The one we had this morning, very sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of other great pastries. I mean, you got your croissants, you got your beautiful Danishes.
Love an apricot Danish.
Yeah,
Love it.
I love an apple Danish.
I don't like a big. Because have you ever seen? I guess you'd say like you got like your regular sized Danish. I've seen some mini ones, so I prefer the mini ones when we're talking about an apricot Danish because if you cut an apricot in half and you put that apricot on a Danish,
Yep.
and it's a regular sized one, you're out of fruit within a couple of bites,
Yeah.
and then you're just left with the, surrounding pastry.
Yep.
The smaller ones, the fruit to pastry ratio is just spot on.
Yeah, you've got to have your ratios right. You can't just be making a giant Danish with a little bit of fruit. No good. And custard.
Oh, and the custard.
That's where all these things come in. We spoke about all these different things. They're all just variations of other breakfasts that are available already. So you don't need to put custard on a hot cross bun. You've got hot cross buns and you've got custard Danish.
100%.
The Sara Lee custard Danish, highly recommend to all your listeners.
Sara Lee custard Danish.
Yep.
Is this
It's like the Sara Lee apple pie from the 80s,
right?
but it's the custard Danish version.
Right.
Superb.
Interesting. I think Sara Lee has a better image in Australia than it does in the US. And I think the quality of the Sara Lee products in Australia seem to be better than they are in the US. Like my parents still like they'll buy Sara Lee ice cream.
Oh, parents love Sara Lee ice
And
cream.
they'll
All
just
parents love Sara Lee ice cream.
Keep that in the freezer. Like looking at it now, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. They're Belgian chocolate. It's fine. It's fine. The rest is pretty.
The vanilla's okay, but that's a very parent thing because they grew up feeding us Sara Lee in the 80s, and then they've stuck with the brand.
Like I've never bought a Sara Lee product in the United States.
I can't comment on that. I don't know. I also haven't bought a Sara Lee product in the United States, but their apple Danish, very good. They're custard Danish.
Custard Danish.
Really good.
All right, I'm just going to keep track of my mental shopping list. I got to go find this salami truck. I got to get the custard apple Danish. Is it?
I think it's just custard
Danish from Sara Lee. I got to find these hot cross bun ice creams at Coles.
Yep. We'll take a trip. We'll go on just a little road trip.
Do you
I'd like to know your furthest point you drive for for a good hot cross bun. Remember when we were in America and we drove about 2.5 hours to have barbecue one way
Coopers. Yeah.
and then all the way back?
Yeah.
So it was like a 5-hour round trip for barbecue.
It was worth it.
Well, fantastic. But how far would you drive for a good bun? If someone was like, oh, they've got really good buns up in Myrtleford,
How far's Myrtleford again from Melbourne?
I don't know, a couple of hours.
Let me put it this way: I wouldn't travel interstate for a hot cross bun. I'd a couple of hours.
Shepparton? Like someone's like, you've got to go to Shepparton for the bun.
Shepparton's a bit further, isn't it?
No, Shepparton's 2 hours, I reckon, 2.5.
Yeah. I'd consider it if there was like, oh yeah, you can also get a great meat pie there as well.
Nah.
If there was something else that you could just, just for the bun.
Just for the bun. So you're saying just for the bun you wouldn't travel?
Yeah, I guess I'd probably not more than a couple. Yeah, probably not more than a couple of hours at the most.
It'd want to be a bloody good bun.
Yeah.
Because it's a small meal. At least when we went for barbecue, it's a full meal. Like Jimmy Carter had eaten there. You sit down. It's a 1.5 hour meal.
And you can go for lunch, right? Like
Yeah, there's lunch, there's meat, there's everything. If you go just for a bun, you drive up there.
It means you want to
get
go
your
in the
bun.
morning.
And then your big problem is if you get to the bakery and it's just a bakery, where do you toast your bun?
It's funny you mentioned that because I've gotten a couple of takeaway hot cross buns recently from more independent, fancy bakeries. And they have actually offered to toast and butter it for you.
Okay, all right. That's a good service.
Very good service. How do you rate the supermarket bun versus fancy buns, fancy bakery buns?
Love the supermarket bun. Love it. Tip top, fantastic.
More than your fancy bun?
Not more. The fancy buns definitely got a place. I eat a lot more fancy buns than I do tip top buns. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you just can't turn your nose up at a tip top or a Brumbies or a Baker's Delight bun. They're fantastic.
I suppose
mass produced and just superb. And it's what you grew up with. So it's your childhood.
Yeah. They've got it
coming
right.
back.
They've got the recipe
They've
right.
got the recipe right, yeah. All these people these days, they've got a new bakery. They're trying new recipes. They're doing new things. They're trying to be a little bit fancy. And some get it, some don't. But yeah, stick with what you know.
What about, you have a young boy. Do you just go the supermarket Baker's Delight hot cross bun with the kids, or do they get into the fancy buns as well?
No, he gets right into the fancy buns.
Wow.
Loves a breakfast Danish pastry or bun.
Or bun.
So he'll just go straight into it. So no waiting around to get home for toasting.
Just
Straight out of the bag and just eat half of it.
yes, like the young kids like a fresh bun.
Yeah, he loves it. And he'll love a toasted one too. His ploy is eat as much of his bun as he can on the way home.
Right.
Then once we get home and I've toasted mine, buttered it, he'll eat as much of that as he can.
Pretty good tactic, really.
Double bun.
Double buns. A lot of buns eaten lately.
I like an evening bun. Like I said before, you have them mostly for breakfast, but after dinner...
But we're talking about an evening hot cross bun here. We're not
an evening hot cross bun, yeah. Just everyone's gone to bed, you're on the couch, you've had dinner.
like an afternoon tea bun for sure.
Yeah.
But you're talking like a dessert bun,
a
like after
dessert
dinner.
bun. Yeah.
Interesting.
Just they've got that hint of sweetness through them. Just beautiful.
How about a toasted hot cross bun with a scoop of hot cross bun ice cream on it for dessert?
I think people make a lot of bread and butter puddings. Did I say this already?
Yeah. Delicious.
Delicious. Make your bread and
that
butter
instead.
puddings. That sounds like a beautiful thing to do.
Maybe I'll do that this weekend as well. That sounds like a winner.
You got a lot to do this weekend.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend.
You got plenty.
Busy weekend.
Your family's going to be very happy.
Yes.
As you just
Very happy.
Cook and...
A few more calories in the belly.
What was your favourite thing you cooked over ISO?
Ooh, favourite thing I cooked. I did the whole bread thing and perfected the bread making, which was, I think, but I didn't keep up with it. Like once I achieved it, I'm like, all right, I'm moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't baking loaves of bread 3 days a week for 6 months.
I love how you perfected it. There's people out there who've been baking bread their whole lives and just haven't got on top of it, and they're just chasing the ultimate loaf. You're like, yeah, after I perfected that, I just fuck it on to the next one. What's next? Boring.
Oh no, it had to be. So I bought an ice cream maker. About halfway through, like, peak pandemic. It was like one of those, it's made in Italy, so it's like a proper step above like the regular. It's still a consumer product. I wouldn't say it's like a professional grade.
Well made.
It's well made, yeah.
So solid.
Well made. It's fucking heavy. Like it's a beast of a thing. Good capacity in the bowl there. So I bought that, and
Flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
well, before I got to that, I told the wife, I was like, look, I've bought an ice cream maker, and she's like, you fucking idiot! Like, how much did it cost? And I was like, oh, may have told a fib to begin with, but it's about $1,000. And she's like, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and you're buying an ice cream maker for $1,000. I'm like, yeah, but
is that a fib up or a fib down?
Oh no, that was it was 1,100. But I'm like, look, relax, it's going to be okay. Try not to worry. So she's like, you better make a lot of fucking ice cream with this thing. And then got into some of the flavors. There's this great ice creamery in the States called Salt and Straw. We actually had Salt and Straw ice cream at our wedding. So I got their ice cream cookbook, and I was working my way through the cookbook. So like chocolate fudge brownie, like burnt strawberry and balsamic vinegar with a little bit of black pepper, delicious.
Ooh.
Double fold vanilla. So double fold vanilla is like this intense. It's called like a double fold vanilla extract. It's like extra punch of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I made like a cookie dough choc chip, like salted caramel.
These
thing.
all sound delicious.
What else did I make?
Where's the ice cream maker now? Back home.
It's back in Los Angeles. However, so I made this ice cream, and first batch, scoop a couple of scoops up for the wife, give it to her. She takes a few bites and just looks up at me, and she's like, all right, yeah, you can keep the ice cream maker. And then I just went apeshit. The freezer's full of ice cream now, but I actually
so you're making up batches and just freezing it.
Yeah, and I was giving some away and that sort of thing, but we were eating a lot of ice cream. So then you have to you have to slow down a bit because Yep.
You're eating too much ice cream.
Too much ice cream. Well, this has been great.
This is it. What's next? What's next on the podcast?
That is to be confirmed.
Okay.
But
I still want to do the potato cakes of Tullamarine.
I wonder how long that podcast would go for.
It might be a 2-parter, 3-parter, who knows? There's a lot of potato cakes in the industrial areas.
I actually had a really great, they called it a homemade potato cake at this fish and chip shop in Dramana.
Mm-hmm.
But aren't they all... So some places are obviously not making these in-house.
I'd say 98 to 99 to almost 100% of fish and chip shops aren't making their own potato cakes.
It was thoroughly delicious.
Did you order 2 and they give you 3 or 4? Because that's the ultimate. When you order just 2 or 3 or 4 potato cakes and you just get more.
They'll just throw a couple in.
Yeah, because the sizes are wrong. Oh, those ones are a bit small.
Yeah.
But hey, let's not delve too far.
Funny enough, I think
potato cakes now.
Yeah, I think we did order 4 and they gave us 5. Anyway, delicious. But we'll get to that.
That's another podcast. Thanks for having me.
All right, Pooch. Thanks very much. See you soon.